In this video, I'm going to give you some advice for adapting your cross solutions for one-handed speed solving. So one of the most challenging parts of doing one-handed solves is doing crosses in a finger-friendly and efficient manner, because when you're doing crosses with two hands, you have lots more fingers and potential finger tricks that you can do, but when you're solving with one hand, you're a lot more limited in terms of what you can do. Also, if you're trying to use all sorts of different layers to solve the cross and different faces, then that can lead to some really awkward and really slow cross solutions. So doing too many awkward moves can cause you to lock up as well as drop the cube, which will both slow you down. Essentially what you want to do is maximize the usage of R and U moves, but to some degree you want to minimize the sort of X and Y rotations that you're doing around the cube. So there's a little bit of a trade-off there. For really awkward moves during a cross, such as L moves and B moves, often just rotating the cube and then doing the move is a lot faster, or even better, planning out the cross so that it's a different solution entirely, so that you don't have to do any L and B moves, and you can actually do things like wide R moves instead of an L move. So a wide R move essentially does an L move, but also a rotation of the centers around the middle slice. So here's a really easy example of where using a wide R move can make a massive difference in terms of how easy your cross is to execute. So here we have these two cross pieces solved, and we've got this one which is one move away, and we've got this one here. So there are so many different ways we can actually solve these four pieces, or solve these two remaining pieces that need to be solved rather. So what we might do normally, if you're doing two-handed solve, you might put the cross on the bottom and then do something like F prime, R, B prime, R prime from this angle, or L prime, F, R prime, F prime from this angle. But what we can do in one-handed solves is put this on the front, and then we can do a U, R prime, U prime. So U, R prime, U prime inserts this to here, and then we can do a wide R prime like that using our pinky, and that solves the cross into the bottom layer. So U, R prime, wide R prime, like that. And that's much better than doing something like F, R prime, F prime, and then L prime, or something really awkward like that. So there's a lesson in that previous example which we can now apply here, which is that occasionally it's actually a lot easier to solve the cross onto either the back, the front, or the top side, rather than the bottom layer, and then rotate after you've solved the cross to put the cross color on the bottom. So here, let's say we have these two cross pieces, and doing something like R prime, F, R prime would solve these. So it's only a three-move case. However, R prime, F, R prime is a little bit awkward to execute one-handed. So what we can do, instead of solving it onto the bottom, we can solve it into the back. So now we're holding a white layer on the back, and all we need to do to solve this is just do R, U prime, R, and we can do that really quickly. So by doing an R with this finger, U prime, and then do another R. And then rotate to put it on the bottom. And that's a little bit more finger friendly than solving it onto the bottom face. So here are just a couple of examples of how I would execute some slightly longer cross solutions. So here we've got these two pieces, which are both opposite their centers, this one and this one. So my solution here would actually be to initially put it onto the back. So put the white layer onto the back and do something like D2. So I can start out by doing a D2 to solve this one, and then I would do R prime, U prime, R prime. So R prime, U prime, R prime, what that does is actually solves this one and this one, but because it's on the back, R prime moves this one here, the white and orange is here, so U prime, R prime. And then, only then would I do one rotation forwards, just an X, and then I can do D2, and D2 with my left pinky and left ring finger, like that. And then R2, I can do the same thing, left pinky and left ring, like that. So there, I only needed to do one rotation to solve the entire cross, and most of the moves were just U and R moves. So that was, quite useful. Okay, so this time we have this cross piece, this one, and this one. And what we can actually do here is build most of the cross on the top, and then use a wide R move to put it onto the bottom layer. So here we can go R prime, U prime, to solve this one in relation to this one, as well as move this one from there to there. So R prime, U prime does this. And then I would do an X rotation like that, and then just do U prime, R prime to solve them. So U prime to line these two up, R prime to solve that one. And then instead of like doing a big rotation and then doing an R2 like that, I can just do a wide R2 to put this on the bottom, these three on the bottom, as well as solve this edge piece, like that. So I hope this video was useful and there are some things that you can take away and work on in your own solves.